The guard's throat tears open under my teeth before I fully register I've shifted. Blood floods my mouth, hot copper coating my tongue, sliding down my throat in a rush that should disgust me, but doesn't. His body drops to the concrete floor with a wet thud that echoes through the quarter keys jangling against his belt. I need those keys. My wolf form shudders as I force the shift backward, bones cracking and reforming fur, receding into skin that's too pale, too scarred. The transformation hurts worse than it should. 4 years of silver and wolfsbane have left my wolf smaller, weaker, wrong, in ways I can feel but can't articulate. Naked and shaking, I crouch over the corpse, hands slick with blood as I fumble for the key ring. My fingers don't want to cooperate, trembling from adrenaline and the aftershocks of a shift my body barely remembers how to complete. The facility's fluorescent lights buzz overhead, casting everything in sickly yellow-green that makes the blood look black. Somewhere down the hall, an alarm will trigger soon. The guard was supposed to check in 7 minutes ago. I have maybe 3 before someone notices. The cell across from mine holds the only thing in this nightmare that matters. Metal scrapes against metal as I jam the first key into the lock. Wrong one. The second. Also wrong. Blood makes everything slippery, and I'm trying to hurry, trying to breathe, trying not to think about what happens if I can't get this door open before the facility realizes what I've done. The third key slides home and turns with a click that sounds like salvation. Eli is already awake, pressed against the far wall of his cell, eyes wide, but not afraid. Not of me. 7 years old, and he's learned to distinguish between danger that wears his face and danger that wants to save him. His small body is covered in bruises that make rage burn white hot behind my sternum, but he's alive, still breathing, still whole enough to save. I grab the blanket from his cot and wrap it around myself, because running through the Cascade Mountains naked in November will kill us almost as efficiently as the guards. The words come out hoarse, my voice still half wolf. Can you shift? He nods, the movement jerky with fear he's trying to swallow. We've been planning this for 3 months, ever since I noticed the guard rotation pattern, ever since I realized the wolfsbane concentration in the air vents drops to manageable levels between 2 and 3 in the morning. Ever since I understood that no one was coming to save us, that if we wanted freedom, we'd have to carve it out with our own claws. Eli's shift is smoother than mine, his young body more adaptable, less damaged by years of suppression. The small gray wolf that emerges barely reaches my knee, but his eyes gleam with intelligence beyond his age. Children shouldn't have to grow up this fast. They shouldn't have to memorize guard schedules and plan escapes and know the exact location of every security camera in an underground torture facility. But here we are. I shift again, gritting my teeth through the pain. My wolf form is pathetic compared to what it should be, what it was before they took everything from me. Silver scars crisscross my hide, permanent reminders of the cleansings, the purifications, the systematic breaking of everything I was. But pathetic is still faster than human, still stronger, still equipped with teeth that can tear out throats. The corridor stretches ahead of us, concrete walls weeping moisture in the perpetual damp that characterizes this place. I've counted the steps 1,000 times in my head during the long nights when sleep wouldn't come. 73 paces to the first junction. Turn right, 42 more to the guard station that should be empty, because Johnson always takes his break at 2:47, and it's 2:51 now, should be empty. I round the corner, low and fast, Eli pressed against my flank. The guard station is not empty. A woman I don't recognize sits with her feet propped on the desk, scrolling through her phone, with the casual disinterest of someone who thinks their shift will be boring. She looks up half a second before I'm on her. Her scream cuts off as my jaws close around her windpipe. I don't have time for mercy. Don't have time for anything except the wet sound of tearing and the way her body goes limp and the phone clattering to the floor, screen cracked but still glowing with the text message that reads, "See you tomorrow, babe." She won't. Eli makes a small noise behind me, something between a whimper and a growl. I shift back just long enough to grab her keys and security badge, then motion for him to follow. The facility is a maze designed to confuse and contain, but I've had 4 years to memorize every turn. 4 years of being dragged to the cleansing chambers, of counting ceiling tiles and doorways, and anything that might someday be useful if I ever got the chance to run. The chance is now. The chance is bleeding out behind us in 2 corpses that will be discovered soon. The main ventilation shaft is accessible through the guard station's back room behind a filing cabinet that I shove aside with strength born of desperation. The grate comes off with a screech of protesting metal that sounds like a siren in the quiet. Eli goes first, his small wolf body slipping easily into the duct. I follow, scraping shoulders against metal, leaving skin behind. The wolfsbane smell intensifies here, concentrated in the air circulation system, burning my nose and making my eyes water. We crawl for what feels like hours, but is probably only 15 minutes. The alarm starts wailing when we're halfway through the shaft, a bone-deep siren that reverberates through the metal around us. Voices shout in the distance, orders barked in tones that promise violence. They know. They're coming. The shaft branches. Left leads to the surface exit I've been mapping. Right drops down to the lower levels, where they keep the prisoners who aren't useful anymore, who've been too broken to serve any purpose except dying slowly. I hesitate for half a heartbeat, thinking of old Thomas, who told me about the truth stone of Sarah, who stopped screaming 3 nights ago, of all the others who taught me to survive through their absence. I can't save them. Not now, maybe not ever. I take the left path, pushing Eli ahead of me, crawling faster. The vent slopes upward, and the air changes less recycled, tinged with pine and frost. Outside air. Freedom air. The grate at the end is locked from the outside, but the screws rusted. I slam my shoulder against it once, twice, 3 times before it gives way, and we tumble out into snow. The cold hits like a physical blow. November in the Cascade Mountains doesn't forgive bare skin or thin blankets, or wolves who've spent 4 years in climate-controlled cells. Eli shakes snow from his fur breath, steaming in the moonlight. Above us, stars scatter across a sky so vast it makes my chest ache. I'd forgotten stars existed, forgotten what it felt like to see farther than the next wall. The facility entrance is somewhere below us. I can see the valley spreading out beneath our position, pine trees black against snow mountains rising like sentinels in every direction. We're in the middle of nowhere, miles from anything resembling civilization. But nowhere is still better than the cells. Eli's ears prick forward, swiveling toward a sound I can't hear yet. Then I catch it, the rumble of engines, vehicles approaching from the access road that cuts through the forest. The guards will fan out, search the perimeter, find our scent trail in minutes. We need to move, need to put distance between ourselves and this place, need to find shelter before hypothermia claims what the guards don't. I shift to human long enough to meet Eli's eyes, to see the fear and trust warring in his expression. My voice comes out rough, damaged from screaming in the cleansing chamber 2 days ago. Run! Don't stop for anything! Follow me! Back to Wolf. The shift is getting harder each time, my body protesting the rapid changes, but I force it through anyway. Eli takes off, small paws churning through snow, and I follow, larger but not by much, protective instincts screaming at me to keep him in sight, to put myself between him and any threat. The forest swallows us. Trees blur past branches, clawing at fur and skin. My paws find purchase on frozen ground, muscles burning with exertion my body isn't conditioned for. Behind us, shouts echo through the darkness, followed by the baying of hounds. They've released the trackers, wolves bred and trained to hunt, to kill, to bring back what was taken. Eli's pace is flagging, his small body not built for this kind of endurance. I could carry him in human form, but that means being slower, more vulnerable, easier to catch. The math is brutal and simple. We keep running or we die. A howl splits the night, closer than the others, gaining fast. I risk a glance back and see them cresting the ridge behind us, 4 massive wolves with red eyes and foam on their muzzles. Crimson Fang pack the facility's enforcers, pumped full of aggression drugs that strip away everything except the hunt. I can't outrun them, can't fight 4 of them and protect Eli at the same time, can't shift to human and reason, because these wolves stopped understanding reason when they accepted the drugs. The ravine appears ahead with no warnings, the ground simply ending in a drop I can't gauge in the darkness. Eli skids to a stop at the edge, yelping as his paws scramble for purchase on the icy lip. Behind us, the trackers close in close enough I can smell the chemical reek of their enhancement, the wrongness of what they've become. I make the choice in the space between heartbeats. Grab Eli by the scruff, ignore his surprised yelp, and jump. The fall is shorter than I feared and longer than I wanted. We hit water so cold it feels like knives, the shock of immersion stealing what little breath I have. Current grabs us immediately, tumbling us downstream in a chaos of white water and ice. I lose my grip on Eli, panic spiking hot and immediate. Then his small body slams into mine, and I catch him again, paws scrabbling against his wet fur. The river carries us away from the trackers, away from the facility, away from 4 years of captivity that ended in blood and snow. I keep Eli's head above water, let the current take us, focus on the simple mechanics of not drowning. The cold is going to kill us if we don't get out soon, but the bank keeps sliding past too steep, or too fast, or too something. Then the river rounds a bend, and I see them. Wolves on the shore, massive and dark eyes glowing in the moonlight. Too many to fight, too organized to be rogues. One stands at the center, larger than the others, radiating authority that makes something in my chest twist, with recognition my brain doesn't have context for. The river slows as it widens, and I paddle toward the bank because drowning while running from one threat to encounter another seems like a particularly stupid way to die. My paws find mud, then stone, then solid ground. I drag Eli out of the water, and he collapses, shaking so hard his small body looks like it might rattle apart. I shift to human because I need to speak, need to make threats or bargains or whatever might keep us alive for the next 5 minutes. The blanket is long gone, lost to the river, and I'm naked and soaking and shaking with cold and adrenaline as I crouch over Eli's wolf form. The wolves surrounding us don't attack, don't move. Just watch with an intensity that raises every instinct, screaming danger. The big one in the center shifts. The transformation is smooth, controlled, practiced in ways mine hasn't been in years. He becomes a man tall and broad-shouldered, dressed in black tactical gear that suggests military precision. Dark hair falls across his forehead, and his eyes are the color of storms about to break. He stares at me like I'm a ghost, like I'm something impossible standing in front of him in defiance of reality. His mouth opens, closes, opens again. When words finally come, they're broken raw with an emotion I don't understand. Maya. The name means nothing to me. I am Shadow. I am the thing that survived 4 years in a cell. I am whatever I need to be to keep Eli alive. I bare my teeth at him, channeling every ounce of feral into the expression. Who the fuck is Maya? His face does something complicated. Grief and shock and desperate hope warring for dominance. He takes a step forward, and I shift, bones cracking back into wolf form, positioning myself between him and Eli. My growl reverberates through my chest, a promise of violence if he comes closer. He stops immediately, hands raised, palms out. Maya, it's me. It's Marcus. Marcus. The name triggers a flicker of something that's not memory, just sensation, cedarwood and pine and smoke. Home. The thought comes unbidden and unwelcome because home is not a thing I have, not a thing I remember, not a thing that exists anywhere except in the fantasies I don't let myself indulge. One of the other wolves shifts, a woman with silver hair and sharp features. Her voice cuts through the tension. Alpha, the Crimson Fang trackers are 3 minutes out. We need to move. Alpha. So this Marcus is pack leader, which makes this either a rescue or a different kind of trap. The math shifts again, probabilities calculating in the part of my brain that's kept me alive this long. Crimson Fang wants us dead or captured. These wolves are armed and organized. The enemy of my enemy is statistically speaking a better bet than freezing to death in the mountains. I shift back to human, keeping Eli behind me. The cold is brutal now, my body's starting to shut down, shaking so hard I can barely form words. If you try anything, I'll rip your throat out. Marcus's laugh is broken, a half sob. He strips off his jacket and holds it out, not approaching, letting me come to him if I choose. You used to say that, different context. I snatch the jacket, shrug into warmth that smells like him, cedarwood and pine, and something underneath that makes my wolf whine with confusion. Eli shifts back to human, a small naked child whose lips are blue with hypothermia. Marcus immediately removes his shirt, kneels to Eli's level, moving slowly like approaching a wild animal. Hey buddy, remember me? Eli's eyes go wide, tracking over Marcus's face with an intensity that suggests recognition buried somewhere under trauma. He points to a birthmark on Marcus's inner wrist, a small crescent moon shape, then holds up his own wrist where an identical mark rests. His voice is small, uncertain. I think I know you. Marcus's breath catches his hand hovering near Eli but not touching, not without permission. When he speaks again, his voice is wrecked. Eli, my son. Oh God, Eli. Son, the word detonates in my chest with implications I don't have processing power for. Eli is my responsibility. My pack of two, the only thing that matters in a world that's tried very hard to break us both. But if this Marcus is his father, if that's real, and not manipulation or trick, then the equations change again. Headlights cut through the trees behind us, vehicles approaching fast. The silver-haired woman shifts back to human with the unself-conscious ease of someone who spent her life in wolf form. Alpha, we're out of time. Marcus stands holding his shirt out to Eli, who takes it with small shaking hands. When Marcus looks at me again, his expression is open raw, every emotion written across his face in ways that make me uncomfortable, because I stopped trusting readable people years ago. Please, I know you don't remember me. I know you don't trust this. But let us get you somewhere safe, somewhere warm. Then you can decide if you want to run again. The logical part of my brain that's kept us alive knows staying means probable capture by Crimson Fang. The paranoid part screams that going with these wolves means different chains, different cells, different masters. But the part of me that's been responsible for a 7-year-old child in a torture facility for 4 years recognizes that Eli needs medical attention, food warmth, needs things I can't provide while running through frozen mountains. I meet Marcus's eyes searching for deception, for the crack in the mask that will tell me this is another trap. All I find is desperate sincerity that either means he's an excellent liar or actually believes what he's saying. My decision comes out clipped, each word a concession I hate making. Fine, we'll come, but I'm watching you, and if you try anything at all, I'll kill you. Marcus nods, accepting the threat like it's perfectly reasonable. Maybe it is. Fair enough. He turns to the silver-haired woman. Rebecca, get them in the SUV. Full heat, blankets, water. Contact doctor. Chen, tell her we're incoming with hypothermia and possible internal injuries. I want medical standing by. Rebecca moves with military efficiency, herding us toward the black vehicle idling between the trees. The interior is warm leather seats and heated air that makes my frozen skin burn as sensation returns. Blankets appear thick and soft, wrapping around me and Eli. Someone hands me a bottle of water, and I sniff it carefully before drinking, checking for drugs or poison or anything that might make us vulnerable. Clean. Just water. Eli huddles against my side, still shaking his small body, generating no heat of its own. I wrap my arm around him, sharing what little warmth I have, watching the wolves through the window as they organize with practiced precision. Marcus speaks into a radio, coordinates, or orders, his voice carrying authority that makes the others snap to attention. The engine rumbles as we start moving, heading away from the facility, from the cells, from everything that's defined my existence for 4 years. Through the rear window, I catch glimpses of the trackers emerging from the tree line, red eyes glowing in the darkness. They stop at the ravine's edge, baying frustration at prey that escaped. Rebecca sits in the driver's seat, eyes flicking to the rearview mirror to check on us. Her voice is calm, professional. We're 40 minutes from the estate. Dr. Chen will meet us there. You're safe now. Safe. The word has no meaning. Safety is illusion, temporary cessation of immediate threat, the gap between one danger and the next. But Eli is warming up against my side, his shaking subsiding to occasional tremors. And that's something. That's enough for now. Marcus climbs into the passenger seat, moving carefully, like sudden movements might spook us. He doesn't try to talk, doesn't push for answers or explanations. Just exists in the space present, but not pressing. The silence stretches, filled only by the engine's rumble and the whisper of tires on mountain roads. Eli breaks it, his voice still small but curious. Why do you smell like home? Marcus's breath catches again, that same grief-hope combination written across his shoulders. He turns slightly enough to meet Eli's eyes without fully facing us. Because you lived with me, with us, before they took you. The word should mean something, should trigger memory or recognition or anything except the blank space where my past should be. I search for it, digging through the fragments of the person I was before the cells, before the cleansing, before they stripped away everything except the will to survive. Nothing. Just emptiness in the ghost of sensations I can't contextualize. But Eli's eyes are wide with something that might be remembering small pieces floating to the surface. I remember a big room, windows everywhere, and pancakes. You made pancakes. Marcus's smile is devastating in its brokenness. Every Sunday, you like them, shaped like wolves. Eli processes this small face scrunched with concentration. Then he looks up at me, trusting in ways that terrify me. Did we eat pancakes together? I don't know. Can't remember. The panic starts rising black and choking because I should know this. Should know if I made pancakes with this child who's been my entire world for 4 years. Should know if the man in the front seat is telling the truth or weaving elaborate lies designed to make us compliant. Marcus must see something in my expression because his voice gentles even further. You don't have to remember right now. It's okay. We'll figure it out. The mountains give way to forest, then to estates hidden behind high walls and iron gates. The SUV slows, turning onto a private road marked only by a bronze wolf emblem embedded in stone. Guards wave us through without question, and I catalog everything fence height. Guard positions, sight lines, escape routes. Old habits from planning the facility break out from staying alive. When alive seemed impossible. The estate appears through the trees like something from a dream. Modern architecture in glass and wood and stone, sprawling across the mountainside with windows that glow warm against the darkness. Nothing like a cell, nothing like captivity. But pretty cages are still cages, and I won't let my guard down just because the surroundings changed. The SUV stops in a circular drive where people wait. A woman with kind eyes and silver-streaked hair steps forward carrying medical bags. Others hover behind her wolves in human form, their attention fixed on us with expressions ranging from shock to tears to something that might be joy. Marcus opens the door carefully, giving us space. Dr. Sarah Chen. She's going to check you both over, make sure nothing's seriously wrong. Then food, shower, rest, whatever you need. Eli's stomach growls audibly, undermining any attempt at dignity. Dr. Chen's smile is warm without being threatening. Sounds like someone's hungry. Let's get you inside where it's warm, okay? I don't want to move. Don't want to leave the vehicle's contained space for the unknown variables waiting in that beautiful building. But Eli is already sliding toward the door, drawn by promises of food and warmth and safety that might actually be real. I follow because that's what I do. Where Eli goes, I go. That's the only truth I have left. The interior is overwhelming. Vaulted ceilings, stone fireplace crackling with real fire furniture that looks expensive and comfortable in equal measure. The pack members who gathered to see us arrive keep their distance, respecting space I haven't asked for, but desperately need. Chen ushers us into a side room smaller and warmer, with examination tables and medical equipment organized with careful precision. She works efficiently, checking Eli first because he's smaller, more vulnerable, the one who needs attention most. Her hands are gentle as she examines bruises, old injuries, the evidence of 4 years spent being systematically broken. Her expression never changes to pity or horror, staying professionally neutral in ways I appreciate because I can't handle emotion right now. The words come soft, directed at Eli, but meant for both of us. You're safe here. I know that's hard to believe. But Marcus has been searching for you both for 4 years. Never stopped. Never gave up. You're home now. Home. That word again offered like a gift I don't know how to accept. Eli's examination reveals what I already knew. Malnutrition, old fractures, healed wrong scarring, consistent with silver exposure and systematic abuse. Nothing immediately life-threatening, but the cumulative damage is extensive. Dr. Chen's jaw tightens as she catalogs each injury, making notes with controlled fury in her movements. Then she turns to me. I don't want to be touched, examined, cataloged like a specimen, but cooperation gets us resources, and resources mean Eli gets taken care of, so I submit to her inspection with as much grace as I can manage. The findings are worse than Eli's because I'm older, because they've had me longer, because the cleansings were designed to break adult wolves more thoroughly than children. Dr. Chen's voice stays clinical, but I hear the anger underneath. Silver burns deliberately placed to suppress shifting. Wolfsbane saturation in the bloodstream, chronic exposure over years. Evidence of memory suppression via dark magic, expensive and highly illegal. Systematic torture designed to destroy identity and will. She pauses, meeting my eyes with fierce compassion. Whoever did this to you wanted you erased, wanted you to forget who you were so completely that you'd never try to come back. The observation hangs in the air between us, heavy with implications I'm not ready to process. Someone wanted me gone, not just in prison, but fundamentally destroyed. The question of who and why burns at the edges of my consciousness, but I'm too tired to chase answers right now. Dr. Chen continues her assessment. The good news is the wolfsbane is metabolizing out of your system now that you're not being continuously exposed. 2 weeks for full detox. Your wolf should strengthen daily as the suppression fades. She hesitates, and I brace for bad news. The memories are harder. The magic used was sophisticated, designed to survive even after the physical suppression ends. I can't reverse it. What comes back will come back naturally or not at all. I'm sorry. Not sorry enough to fix it, but medicine has limits. I understand limits. Live within them. The person I was before is gone, and maybe that's fine. Maybe shadow is enough. Eli is falling asleep, sitting up, exhaustion, finally overwhelming adrenaline. Chen smiles at him with genuine warmth. Let's get you two to rooms where you can rest. Food's being prepared. Marcus made sure the chef knows to make wolf-sized portions. We follow her through corridors that smell like pine and wood smoke and pack the scent markers of wolves who live here in safety and community. Everything is too clean, too perfect, too much like a fantasy designed to lower defenses. But Eli needs rest, needs food, needs things I can't provide by staying suspicious and vigilant. The suite we're led to is larger than our cells combined times 100. 2 bedrooms connected by a shared living space, windows overlooking mountains and forest furniture, soft and inviting. A fire burns in the fireplace, already lit, waiting for us. On the coffee table sits a tray loaded with food sandwiches, fruit cookies, hot chocolate, steaming in oversized mugs. Eli's eyes go wide with disbelief. We can eat all of this. Dr. Chen nods, her smile understanding. All of it, and there's more in the kitchen whenever you want. Your home, food warmth, safety, all of it's yours now. She leaves us alone, closing the door with a soft click that sounds like privacy, like trust. Like things I haven't experienced in so long, I forgot they existed. Eli doesn't hesitate, diving for the food with single-minded intensity. I check the sandwiches carefully, smelling for toxins or drugs, finding nothing except turkey and cheese and bread that's actually fresh. The first bite tastes like revelation flavor and texture that prison rations never approached. I eat mechanically, fueling the body, watching Eli demolish food with the enthusiasm of a child who's been starving for years. Because he has been. We both have. The hot chocolate is sweet and warm, coating my throat with comfort I don't trust but desperately need. Eli drinks his too fast and gets chocolate on his nose, giggling at his own mess in a way that makes my chest ache. Children should giggle, should make messes, should not have to escape torture facilities and jump into frozen rivers. When we're done, too full to eat another bite, Eli explores the bedrooms with cautious wonder. The larger one has a bed big enough for 4 people covered in soft blankets and pillows that look like clouds. The smaller one is clearly designed for a child, decorated in blues and grays with wolf motifs scattered throughout. Eli gravitates to the smaller room, but keeps looking back at me, uncertain if separation is allowed or safe. I make the decision easy, settling onto the bed in his room. We'll stay together tonight. Relief floods his small face as he climbs in beside me, burrowing under blankets that smell like lavender and safety. His voice is already drowsy, consciousness fading fast. Do you think this is real? That we really got out? I brush hair from his forehead, the gesture automatic from 4 years of comforting him after nightmares. Real enough for tonight. Sleep now. I'll keep watch. He's unconscious in seconds, the exhaustion of escape and hypothermia and hope finally claiming him. I stay awake, listening to the estate settle around us, cataloging sounds and movements and potential threats. The bed is too soft, the room too warm, the silence too complete. I miss the drip of water in the cells, the constant reminder of where I was, what I needed to survive. This comfort feels like a trap I'm too tired to avoid. Sometime past midnight, a soft knock interrupts my vigil. I'm on my feet instantly, positioning myself between the door and Eli's sleeping form. The knock comes again, patient, waiting for permission. Marcus's voice filters through the wood, careful and quiet. Maya, I know you're probably not sleeping. Can we talk just for a minute? Every instinct screams to refuse to maintain distance and boundaries, to not let this man who claims impossible things into the fragile space we've carved out. But curiosity wins over caution, and I ease the door open, slipping into the hallway and closing it behind me so Eli can sleep undisturbed. Marcus stands a respectful distance away, still dressed in tactical gear, minus the weapons I assume he left somewhere else to seem less threatening. His eyes are red-rimmed, exhausted, grief-worn, in ways that speak to years of searching and not finding. He sees me looking and manages a tired smile. I haven't slept well since you disappeared. 4 years of hoping and looking and coming up empty. Now you're here, and I'm afraid if I sleep, you'll vanish again. The vulnerability in the admission is tactical or genuine, I can't tell which. I cross my arms, maintaining professional distance. You said you know me. Knew me. Explain. Marcus runs a hand through his hair, the gesture speaking distress and uncertainty. You're my wife, my mate, Maya Stone. We met 6 years ago at an Alpha summit in Seattle. You challenged me to a fight, said I looked too comfortable on my throne. You won. I fell in love somewhere between the third punch and you pinning me to the mat. He delivers the information like facts, waiting to see if any of it resonates. It doesn't. I am Shadow. I am the thing that survived. I am not this Maya who challenged alphas and won fights and fell in love. But he continues, pulling out his phone and scrolling through photos. He holds it up, showing me an image of a woman in a white dress laughing at something off camera. She's beautiful in an unself-conscious way, strong and vibrant, and so different from the scarred, broken thing I see in mirrors that I can't reconcile the two as the same person. Our mating ceremony, 5 years ago. You wore white because tradition mattered to you, but insisted on combat boots under the dress because heels were impractical. The pack loved you immediately. Another photo, the same woman, pregnant and glowing hands resting on a swollen belly. Marcus beside her, his expression equal parts terror and joy. You were 8 months pregnant here. Eli came 2 weeks later, after 24 hours of labor that nearly killed you both. But you're stubborn, refused to give up, brought our son into the world screaming defiance. The photos should trigger something, should crack open the locked spaces where memories hide. But there's nothing except a dull ache behind my sternum that might be grief for a life I don't remember losing. I keep my voice neutral, clinical. If I was your wife, your mate, where were you when they took us? The question lands like a blade. Marcus flinches, pain writing itself across his features. You disappeared 4 years ago from our estate. The night of the winter solstice ball. Security footage showed you leaving alone, no signs of struggle. We searched everywhere, questioned everyone. It was like you vanished into smoke. He swallows hard, continuing. A year later, they came back for Eli. Took him from his bedroom while I was handling pack business across the territory. By the time I got home, he was gone. Same thing, no trace, no witnesses, nothing. The grief in his voice sounds genuine, but voice can be faked, emotions manufactured. I probe for inconsistencies. You're Alpha, you have resources, trackers, allies. How did we stay missing for 4 years? Marcus's expression darkens, anger joining the grief. Someone made sure we looked in all the wrong places. Someone with access to our security, our information, our trust. Someone who wanted you gone and worked very hard to keep you that way. The implication hangs heavy. Traitor in the pack, someone close enough to sabotage searches and redirect attention. Someone who benefited from our absence. Who? Marcus shakes his head. I have suspicions, but no proof, not yet. The Crimson Fang Pack facility where we found you fell to our forces 2 days ago in an unrelated operation. When we breached the lower levels, I smelled you. Knew immediately. Would know your scent anywhere, even under wolfsbane and fear. He meets my eyes, desperate sincerity bleeding through every word. I know you don't remember me. Don't remember any of this. But you're my mate, Maya, the other half of my soul, and I will do everything in my power to help you remember, or help you heal, or just help you exist, if that's all you want from me. The declaration should be romantic or touching or meaningful. Instead, it feels like pressure, expectation, the weight of a life I can't access and a person I can't be. Shadow doesn't have a mate. Shadow has survival instincts and a child to protect and nothing else. But Eli called him father, recognized him on some level deeper than conscious memory. And the birthmark matched the resemblance in their eyes, the way Marcus looks at him with love so profound it's painful to witness. I choose honesty over diplomacy. I don't know you, don't remember being your wife or Maya or anything, except the cells. If you're expecting me to suddenly be the person in those photos, you're going to be disappointed. Marcus nods, accepting this with visible effort. I know. I'm not expecting anything except the chance to keep you safe while you figure out what comes next. No pressure, no demands, just stay. Let us protect you and Eli. Let Dr. Chen help you heal. The rest will come or it won't. The offer is reasonable, more than fair. And we have nowhere else to go, no resources except what's offered here. Tactical acceptance is the logical choice. We'll stay for now, but if that changes, we leave. No arguments, no attempts to stop us. Marcus extends his hand, the gesture formal. Deal. I take his hand, surprised by the jolt that runs through my arm at contact. His skin is warm, calloused, familiar in ways I don't understand. My wolf stirs for the first time since shifting, pressing against my consciousness with interest that borders on recognition. I drop his hand, quickly stepping back. I should get back to Eli. Marcus respects the boundary, moving aside. Of course. Sleep if you can. Tomorrow the council will want to see you verify everything. But tonight, just rest. You're safe here. Safe. That word again, offered like truth, when truth is subjective and safety is temporary. But I'm too tired to argue, too wrung out from escape and hypothermia, and hope to maintain vigilance much longer. I slip back into the room where Eli sleeps, curling around his small body, with protective instincts that have kept us both alive. My eyes drift closed despite my best efforts. Consciousness fading into something that might be sleep, or might be the collapse of a body pushed past all reasonable limits. Dreams come fragmented and confusing. A man with storm-colored eyes teaching me to fight. Laughter in sunlight. Hands on my pregnant belly. Pain and joy and love that taste like forever. I wake disoriented, unsure which reality is real, the cells that define me, or this soft bed that promises impossible things. Eli is still sleeping, breath soft and even. Dawn light filters through windows. I didn't bother to close, painting everything gold and gentle. For a moment, I let myself believe this might be okay, that we might have actually escaped, that safety might be more than illusion. Then I remember where we are, and everything we don't know, and the doubt comes rushing back. The day unfolds in careful increments. Dr. Chen returns with breakfast and another examination, charting our progress with professional thoroughness. Eli is more energetic this morning, healing with the resilience of youth, asking questions about the estate and the pack, and whether the pancakes thing was really true. Marcus confirms it with a smile that makes Eli laugh, and watching them together triggers something in my chest that might be memory, or might just be recognition of a bond that exists independent of my awareness. The pack members we encounter maintain respectful distance, but their eyes hold curiosity in something that might be relief or joy. A woman with tears streaming down her face approaches carefully, voice shaking. Luna, Maya, I'm so glad you're home. We never stopped hoping. Luna, Maya. The title falls strange against my ears, formal and distant. I don't correct her because I don't know what name is right anymore. Shadow belongs to the cells. Maya belongs to a woman I don't remember being. Maybe I'm neither, or both, or something new, emerging from the wreckage. The estate is beautiful in daylight, all clean lines and natural materials, windows that bring the outside in. Eli discovers a library and disappears into books with the hunger of a child who's been denied stories. I find myself drawn to the balcony off our suite, staring at mountains that seem impossibly distant and wonderfully free. Marcus finds me there, moving quietly enough I could pretend not to notice if I wanted. The council sent a formal summons. They want to verify your identity, hear your account of what happened. Tomorrow at noon. I process this, running through implications. And if I don't want to go, Marcus's voice holds careful neutrality. You're Luna by mate bond and pack law. But after 4 years missing, some formalities need to be observed. Testimony, verification, politics. Politics, of course. Even rescue comes with bureaucracy and power plays, and people who need to confirm that what they're seeing is real. What's the counsel? Marcus leans against the railing, explaining with patience that suggests he's done this before for other wolves unfamiliar with pack structure. 9 members who govern werewolf society in North America. They handle disputes, enforce laws, maintain our secrecy from humans. 3 of them are loyal to me. 3 are neutral. 3 are, he hesitates, choosing words carefully, potentially problematic. They supported the decision to name a new Luna after you disappeared. New Luna, the implication settles cold in my stomach. You remarried. Marcus's laugh is bitter. No, never, but the council forced me to name someone to handle Luna duties. Political necessity. I chose Cassandra Vale because she was your closest friend, because she vowed to help find you, because I thought, he stops, jaw clenching. I thought I could trust her. The way he says it suggests he learned otherwise. I've filed that information away with everything else I'm collecting about this world I've been thrust into. And now that I'm back, Marcus meets my eyes storm gray, serious. Now the council has to decide if you're fit to resume your position. If the mate bond still holds. If you're the person you were, or someone new who needs different accommodation. Translation, they'll judge if I'm broken beyond repair, if I'm useful to the pack, or a liability that should be discarded. The evaluation makes sense from their perspective, and I do the same in their position. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Fine, I'll go. Answer their questions. Let them verify whatever they need to verify. Marcus's relief is visible tension bleeding from his shoulders. Thank you. And Maya, if it helps, know that I will support you no matter what they decide. You're my mate. That doesn't change because you don't remember it. The declaration should feel reassuring. Instead, it adds to the pressure building behind my ribs, the weight of expectations I can't meet and identities I can't inhabit. But tactical cooperation serves our purposes, and I'm nothing if not tactical. The rest of the day passes in preparation. Dr. Chen explains what the council will likely ask, warns me about the truth stone and its invasive nature, coaches me on staying calm and centered. Rebecca Stone, the silver-haired woman from the rescue, provides a rundown of the council members, names, allegiances, histories. Thomas Ironwood, oldest member, neutral but fair. Rebecca Stone herself, Marcus's cousin, loyal. James Blackwood, Marcus's uncle, allied. Gerald Vale, Cassandra's uncle, hostile. Margaret Cross and William Hunt, Cassandra supporters. Elena Frost, David River. Sarah Moon, all neutral but swayable. The names wash over me, too many to remember, but I catch the important details. Cassandra Vale is the new Luna, Gerald, her uncle and supporter on the council. Family ties create political alliances, and I'm walking into a situation where half the room wants me gone. Familiar territory. I've navigated worse with less information. Eli spends the evening teaching me about the pack, from his fragmented memories, small pieces returning in flashes. He remembers a healer who always had candy, a guard who taught him card tricks, a chef who made cookies shaped like wolves. Each memory is a fragment of the life I should remember, a glimpse into the person I was before they stripped her away. I don't tell him how little any of it means to me. Let him have his memories, his excitement at pieces coming back. My blankness is my problem, not his burden. Night falls and we repeat the routine food warmth, safety that still feels precarious. Marcus stops by to check on us, respecting boundaries, but making his presence available. He brings wolf-shaped cookies from the chef Eli mentioned, and watching my son's face light up with recognition, enjoyed as something that complicated to my emotional landscape. After Eli falls asleep, I find myself back on the balcony, seeking the cold clarity of November air. The stars are brilliant here, away from city lights, scattered across darkness, like promises of things beyond this single moment. I'm staring at constellations I can't name when Marcus appears in the doorway holding 2 mugs of something that steams in the cold. Hot chocolate. You used to say it helped you think. I take the offered mug, wrapping cold hands around ceramic warmth. We stand in silence, sipping chocolate that tastes like comfort I don't remember craving. After a long moment, Marcus speaks quietly. The council meeting tomorrow might get rough. There's a tool they use called the truth stone. ancient artifact that forces honesty from whoever it's focused on. It's invasive and painful and designed to root out lies. I process this information running through implications. They're going to use it on me. Marcus's jaw clenches. Probably. Some council members will demand it to verify your story. I'll fight it if you want, but political capital has limits, and refusing might look like you're hiding something. Logical. Brutal, but logical. If I were them, I'd demand the same verification. I'll do it. I have nothing to hide. Marcus's expression suggests he's not convinced that will matter, but he doesn't argue. Instead, he points to the sky, to a cluster of stars forming a pattern I almost recognize. You used to love astronomy, would drag me out here on clear nights and name constellations until I begged for mercy. The information should trigger memory recognition anything. But there's only the blank space where knowledge should be the void that's become familiar. I don't remember that. Marcus's smile is sad, but not surprised. I know, but maybe someday you will. And until then, I'll remember for both of us. The declaration is sweet and painful, and I don't know how to respond to either quality. So I drink my chocolate and watch stars I can't name and try to prepare mentally for tomorrow's interrogation. Sleep is elusive when it finally comes plagued by dreams of cells and chains and a woman's face I almost recognize calling me by a name that doesn't feel like mine. Morning arrives too quickly. Dr. Chen examines us again, declaring us stable enough for the council meeting, though she looks unhappy about the timing. Eli is staying at the estate under her care, a decision I hate but understand. The council meeting is political theater, and dragging a traumatized child through it serves no purpose except cruelty. I dress in clothes that appeared in the closet overnight, simple and practical, reinforced with the understanding that I might need to shift quickly if things go wrong. Marcus waits in the hallway dressed formally in dark suit that emphasizes his alpha status. He looks powerful and dangerous and controlled in ways that should intimidate but somehow don't. Ready? I'm not, won't ever be. But ready is subjective, and time doesn't care about my preferences. Let's get this over with. The council chamber is a 40-minute drive through mountain roads that wind through forests and valleys. The building appears suddenly modern architecture that somehow feels ancient, all stone and steel and glass positioned to command the landscape. Wolves in formal attire gather in clusters, outside pack members and representatives, witnesses to whatever happens inside. Rebecca meets us at the entrance, her expression professional but worried. The council is already assembled. Gerald Vale is presiding. He's going to push for the truth stone immediately. Marcus's growl is subvocal, felt more than heard. Of course he is. We enter together, Marcus on my right, Rebecca on my left, a formation that speaks to alliance and protection. The chamber itself is circular, obsidian walls polished to mirror brightness, reflecting everything back at itself. 9 thrones carved from bone and iron ring, the space occupied by wolves whose power radiates like physical force. In the center sits a platform carved with symbols I don't recognize, and on that platform rests the truth stone. The artifact is exactly as described, massive black crystal silver veins pulsing with energy that makes my skin crawl even from distance. Looking at it triggers primal fear, the instinctive knowledge that this thing can hurt me in ways that transcend physical pain. But I walked through fire to get here, survived 4 years of systematic torture. A magic rock that makes you tell truth isn't going to break me when everything else failed. The council members watch our entrance with varying expressions. Some curious, some hostile, one older man with kind eyes that might be sympathetic. Gerald Vale sits at what appears to be the head position, his resemblance to someone I can't quite place nagging at my awareness. He stands a voice carrying formal weight. This council convenes to verify the return of Maya Stone Luna of the Blackwood Pack and to determine her fitness and to resume her duties after 4 years' absence. Let the proceedings begin. No warmth, no welcome. Just cold bureaucracy and the promise of interrogation. Marcus takes position behind me, physical presence that says he's got my back, even if political maneuvering limits what he can actually do. Gerald continues reading from prepared statements that outline my disappearance, the search efforts, the assumption of death, the naming of Cassandra Vale as replacement Luna. Each word is a nail in some coffin I don't fully understand, building a case for why my return is problematic rather than celebrated. Then he gets to the meat of it. Given the unprecedented nature of this situation and questions regarding Maya Stone's memory and state of mind, the Council invokes the right to Truth Stone verification. All in favor, 6 hands raise, more than I expected but enough to make it official. Marcus's voice cuts through sharp with controlled fury. I object. Maya has been through enough without submitting to, Gerald interrupts smoothly. Your objection is noted, Alpha Blackwood. But the Council has spoken. The verification will proceed unless Maya Stone herself refuses, in which case we must question what she has to hide. The trap is elegant in its simplicity. Submit to invasive interrogation or be branded suspicious and potentially rejected. Either way, they control the narrative. I step forward before Marcus can escalate, keeping my voice level. I'll do it. I have nothing to hide. Shock ripples through the room, followed by a different kind of tension. Gerald's expression suggests this wasn't the response he expected, which gives me grim satisfaction. Never let them predict your moves. I walk to the platform, climbing steps that feel like walking to execution. The Truth Stone thrums with energy. I can feel through my boots, old magic that tastes like copper and moonlight. Up close, the silver veins move like liquid, pulsing with rhythms that don't match my heartbeat but somehow sync with my wolf. Gerald approaches from the other side, maintaining distance. The process is simple. I will ask 3 questions. You will answer truthfully. The stone will verify or contradict. Resistance or deception results in pain. Severe resistance can be fatal. Do you understand and consent? I meet his eyes, refusing to show fear, even though it's eating my insides. I understand. Ask your questions. Gerald places his hand on the stone's surface. The chamber falls silent, every eye fixed on us, waiting. The energy builds, crackling through the air like static before a storm. Then it hits. Silver lightning slams into my skull with force that buckles my knees. The world tilts sideways, reality fragmenting as the stone's awareness invades my consciousness, rooting through memories and thoughts in the locked spaces where my past should be. Pain explodes behind my eyes, white-hot and merciless, but I've felt worse in the cleansing chambers. I've survived worse than magic rocks demanding honesty. I grit my teeth and ride it out, staying upright through sheer stubbornness. Gerald's voice echoes from somewhere distant, distorted by the stone's interference. First question. Did you leave Blackwood Estate willingly 4 years ago? The stone doesn't just want my answer, it wants to show everyone the truth, pulling memory forward with surgical precision despite the magic that's been suppressing it. The world dissolves around me, replaced by visions so vivid it might as well be real. The memory slams through me with the force of a physical blow, dragging me backward through time to a night I didn't know I'd forgotten. Winter Solstice Ball. The date means nothing until the stone forces context, peeling back layers of suppression magic like skinning an animal. Eli in bed, small body burning with fever, his face flushed and damp. I'm standing at his bedside, hand on his forehead, debating whether to stay or fulfill the political obligations that come with being Luna. A woman enters behind me, her reflection caught in the window glass before I turn. Dark hair, beautiful features, smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. Cassandra. The name arrives with her face unlocking recognition that tastes like betrayal. My best friend, my sister in everything but blood. The woman who helped me prepare for the mating ceremony, who held my hand through labor, who promised to always have my back. Her voice in the memory is honey-sweet concern. Go to the ball, Maya. The pack needs to see their Luna strong and present. I'll watch Eli. You know I love him like my own. Memory me hesitates, maternal instinct warring with duty. Eli's fever isn't critical, but it's high enough to worry. Cassandra's hand on my shoulder feels reassuring, familiar, safe. I've got him, I promise. Go be magnificent. The decision happens in heartbeats. Kiss Eli's burning forehead, whisper promises to return soon, leave the room with backward glances that don't reveal the trap closing behind me. The hallway to the ballroom is empty. At this hour, most guests already assembled. My heels click against marble floors that gleam under chandelier light. I'm adjusting the formal gown, annoyed at the impracticality of the entire outfit when footsteps approach from behind. I turn, expecting a servant or guard, finding Cassandra instead. But this Cassandra is different. The warmth is gone from her expression, replaced by something cold and calculating that makes my wolf snarl warnings I don't have time to process. She moves fast, faster than I anticipate, and pain explodes at the base of my skull. The world tilts marble, rushing up to meet my face. Consciousness fractures time skipping like damaged film. When awareness returns, I'm in a storage room, hands bound behind my back with zip ties that bite into wrists. Cassandra stands over me, and the transformation in her is complete. No more friend, just predator wearing familiar skin. Her words drip venom disguised as explanation. Did you really think I was loyal to you, perfect Maya, with her perfect mate and perfect life? Do you have any idea how long I waited for Marcus? 15 years of making myself worthy, becoming everything an alpha could want. Then you show up and he looks at you like you hung the fucking moon. The zip ties cut deeper as I struggle wolf form, trying to surface, blocked by something chemical in my system. Cassandra notices and laughs. Wolfsbane injection, enough to keep you compliant for the next few hours. You're not shifting out of this. She crouches to my level, eyes bright with something that might be madness or might be grief twisted into rage. I've poisoned Eli, slow-acting toxin in his bedtime milk. He has maybe 3 hours before organ failure starts. The antidote is in my pocket. You want it. You leave the estate tonight and never come back. The words detonate through me like grenades. Eli dying. My son poisoned by the woman I trusted with his care. The woman I trusted with everything. Memory me is begging now, pride abandoned, willing to do anything. Please, please, he's just a child. Take me instead, but save him. Cassandra pulls a knife from her jacket, testing the edge against her thumb. Blood wells up crimson against pale skin. Blood oath. The only thing that will convince me you mean it. Swear by the moon that you'll leave tonight and never return to Blackwood territory. Swear it and I'll give him the antidote. The choice isn't a choice. Eli's life or my presence. No decision at all. I nod through tears that burn tracks down my face. Yes, anything, just save him. Cassandra cuts my palm, presses our bleeding hands together. The magic activates instantly, moon cold and absolute, binding words into unbreakable law. Her voice takes on formal cadence as she speaks the oath's terms. By blood and moon, I swear I will not kill Maya Stone or Eli Blackwood if Maya leaves Blackwood territory tonight and never returns. This oath binds until death or mutual release. The magic settles into my bones, foreign and invasive. Cassandra holds up the antidote, small vial of clear liquid. I'll give this to Eli after you're gone. You have my word, bound by oath. Now walk out those gates and disappear. She cuts my zip ties, steps back to let me stand on shaking legs. The wolfsbane makes everything sluggish, thoughts moving through mud, but the imperative is clear. Leave or Eli dies. Simple, brutal, effective. I walk through the estate in formal gown and bare feet because my heels broke in the struggle. Staff and guards I pass don't question, accustomed to Luna's movements. Out through the main gates, past security, who assume I'm heading to my car. Into the forest beyond, where pine needles cut my feet and cold air burns my lungs. I make it maybe half a mile before shapes emerge from darkness. Wolves, not Blackwood pack. These carry the chemical stink of aggression, drugs, and something else underneath. Mercenaries, Crimson Fang pack. Cassandra's voice echoes from the trees where she's been following, waiting. Thank you for your cooperation, Maya. The blood oath was necessary insurance. Couldn't have you running back the moment I turned away. Realization hits like ice water. The oath prevents her from killing me, but she never promised not to sell me. Memory me tries to fight despite the wolfsbane. Manages to take down one wolf before 3 more pile on, pinning me to frozen ground. A hood goes over my head, shutting out stars and freedom, and everything except the sound of Cassandra's receding laughter. Her final words chase me into drugged unconsciousness. The Crimson Fang facility is quite comfortable. You'll have years to think about what you took from me. The memory fractures, time compressing. Waking in cells that smell like wolfsbane and despair. Cleansings that strip away identity piece by piece. Magic worked into my skin and bones, suppressing not just wolf, but memory itself, erasing Maya Stone until only shadow remains. The vision releases me back to the present with whiplash violence. I'm on my knees on the platform, gasping, the truth stone's energy still crackling through my nervous system. The council chamber is silent, every wolf frozen in shock at what the stone showed them. The projection was public, my memories displayed like theater for all to witness. Gerald's voice cuts through, shaking with something between triumph and horror. The question was, did you leave Blackwood Estate willingly 4 years ago? Your answer, the truth stone demands response, won't release its hold until I speak the words it's already verified. My voice comes out raw, destroyed. Yes, I left willingly. Gasps ripple through the assembled wolves. I can see them processing, understanding only half the context. They saw me walk out the gates on my own feet, saw the lack of physical restraint, don't understand or don't care about the difference between choice and coercion. Marcus's roar shakes the chamber wall's rage-given voice. She was blackmailed. You all saw it. Cassandra poisoned Eli. Thomas Ironwood raises a hand for silence, his old eyes sharp with understanding. The Alpha speaks truth. What we witnessed was extortion, not willing abandonment. But Gerald is already moving to the next question, sensing advantage pressing, while I'm vulnerable and the crowd is reeling. Second question, did you do it for love? The stone rips through my psyche again, finding the truth embedded in memory. Yes, love for my son, love that overrode self-preservation and pride, and every other consideration. Love that made walking away the only possible choice, because Eli's life mattered more than my freedom or happiness or future. The answer tears out of me. Yes. More gasps, whispers spreading like poison through the chamber. I try to explain forced context into the simple affirmation, but the stone shocks me silent. It wants yes or no, nothing else, no explanations that might complicate the narrative Gerald is building. Marcus is fighting the guards holding him back, wolf surfacing in gold-bright eyes that promise violence. Rebecca is shouting objections that get drowned in the chaos. The council members are arguing among themselves, voices rising in discord. Gerald waits for silence before delivering the killing blow. Third question, if you could go back in time, would you do it again? The stone doesn't even have to search for this answer. It's written in my bones, branded into the core of who I am. If faced with the same choice tomorrow, or 1,000 years from now, the result wouldn't change. Eli's life over my freedom. Always, every single time. Yes, the stone flares with the force of absolute truth, silver veins blazing bright enough to hurt eyes. The energy releases me suddenly, and I collapse forward onto the platform, shaking with aftershocks of invasive magic. My nose is bleeding, I realize distantly. Small price for having your consciousness violated and your trauma put on display for political theater. The chamber erupts, wolves shouting accusations and defenses in equal measure. Gerald's voice cuts through calm and measured and absolutely certain. By her own admission, via the truth stone, Maya Stone left willingly motivated by love with no remorse for her actions. The abandonment of Luna duties is clear and verified. Thomas Ironwood is on his feet, voice sharp. You deliberately phrase those questions to remove context. Anyone watching the memories can see she was coerced. Gerald's smile is thin and poisonous. The truth stone shows what it shows. The council will deliberate on what we've witnessed and render judgment. This session is adjourned for 7 days. 7 days, a week to let the half-truth narrative solidify, to let wolves who only heard the answers without seeing the full memories spread gossip and speculation. Political maneuvering at its finest, Marcus finally breaks free of the guards, reaching me in 3 long strides. His hands hover near my shoulders, wanting to touch, not sure if contact is welcome. I'm too wrung out to care about boundaries, accepting the support as he helps me stand on legs that don't want to cooperate. His voice is murder soft, directed at Gerald. That was a fucking ambush and you know it. Gerald's expression never changes from professional neutrality. The council invoked its right to truth stone verification. All procedures were followed correctly. If you have objections, submit them in writing. Rebecca appears at my other side, helping Marcus guide me off the platform and toward the exit. The crowd parts reluctantly, wolves staring with expressions ranging from sympathy to suspicion. I catch glimpses of faces I don't recognize, names I can't remember. Pack members whose opinions of their Luna are being shaped by 3 answers stripped of context. The drive back to the estate passes in numb silence. Marcus radiates fury barely contained, hands white-knuckled on the steering wheel. Rebecca is on her phone, already working damage control, calling allies and neutrals to explain what actually happened versus what Gerald wants people to believe. When we pull into the circular drive, Eli bursts out of the main doors, Dr. Chen following at a more sedate pace. He crashes into me the moment I'm out of the vehicle, small arms wrapping tight around my waist. You came back. I knew you would, but I was still scared. I hold him close, breathing in the scent of child and safety and the reminder of why I survived everything. Marcus watches us with expression that cycles through grief and longing and fierce protectiveness. Dr. Chen does a quick examination right there in the driveway, checking my vitals and pupils and pronouncing me stable despite the Truthstone's assault. Her professional mask slips for a moment, revealing anger underneath. That was barbaric. The council had no right to put you through that so soon after rescue. I shrugged, too tired for outrage. Politics don't care about timing. What's the damage? Rebecca looks up from her phone, expression grim. Half the pack saw what really happened. The other half only heard the yes answers. Gerald is already spinning this as Luna abandoning her duties for a lover. Some wolves are buying it. Marcus's growl is subterranean, felt more than heard. Then we show them the truth. Release the full memory projection. Let them see what Cassandra did. Thomas Ironwood's voice carries from the estate entrance, where he's just arrived, having followed us from the council chamber. That won't be enough. Cassandra's faction will claim the memories are fabricated, that dark magic can fake such things. We need more than Maya's testimony. He steps closer, old eyes kind but realistic. The council will deliberate for 7 days. In that time, we need to find evidence that corroborates Maya's account. Security footage from that night witnesses anything that proves Cassandra's involvement. I process this through exhaustion fog. What happens if you can't find proof? Thomas's expression suggests he doesn't want to answer, but honesty compels him. Best case, the council votes to restore your position with conditions. Worst case, they vote for permanent banishment from pack territory. Eli's arms tighten around me, small body trembling. They can't take you away again. They can't. I stroke his hair, making promises I'm not sure I can keep. No one's taking me anywhere. But the adults exchange looks that say otherwise, that say politics and evidence, and council votes might force outcomes none of us want. The next 72 hours blur into investigation and frustration. Marcus mobilizes every resource, calling in favors and allies, searching for the evidence that will vindicate me. Rebecca leads the tech analysis, trying to recover security footage from 4 years ago that was conveniently corrupted or deleted. James Blackwood interviews staff and guards, searching for witnesses who might have seen something useful. I'm confined to the estate, not officially under house arrest, but functionally restricted by the same political necessities that demanded the Truthstone interrogation. Leaving would be interpreted as running as guilt. So I stay helping where I can, mostly trying to keep Eli occupied and calm while chaos swirls around us. The memories are returning now, triggered by the stone's forcible excavation. They come in fragments, puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together yet. I remember loving Marcus with intensity that burned. Remember the mating ceremony under Blood Moon, his vow to protect me always. Remember pregnancy and fear and joy all tangled together. Remember Cassandra braiding my hair, laughing at shared jokes, being the sister I never had. Each memory makes the betrayal sharper, more personal. She wasn't just enemy or stranger. She was family. And she sold me to torturers because I had what she wanted. The fourth night, I find Marcus in his study, surrounded by files and footage, in frustration. He looks up when I enter, exhaustion written in the lines around his eyes. We can't find it. 4 years ago, security protocols were different. Backups weren't as comprehensive. The footage from that night is just gone. I settle into the chair across from his desk, studying this man who claims to be my husband, whose grief feels genuine, even if I can't remember the love that caused it. Tell me about Cassandra. Before. What was she like? Marcus leans back, running hands through hair that's getting longer because he hasn't had time for grooming. Orphaned young, parents killed in a territory dispute. Gerald took her in, raised her with the expectation she'd marry, well, elevate the family status. She fixated on me early, but mate bonds don't work that way. You can't force them. He pulls out a photo, slides it across the desk. 3 people laughing at a camera. Marcus, a woman I recognize as myself, and Cassandra between us, with arms around our shoulders. This was your mating ceremony. Cassandra was your maid of honor. You two were inseparable. The photo should trigger warmth recognition something. Instead, there's just the sick knowledge of how completely she fooled us both. Marcus continues, voice going rough. After you disappeared, she was devastated, or seemed to be. Help coordinate searches, supported me through the worst of the grief, volunteered to take on Luna duties when the council insisted. I thought she was honoring your memory, trying to help. His laugh is bitter. Never occurred to me she was the one who caused it all. I traced the edge of the photo, looking at Memory Me's smile. The blood oath. That's why you couldn't find us, isn't it? I was bound not to return. Couldn't even trip me. Marcus nods slowly. Blood oaths are absolute. Once sworn, they override everything else. You couldn't come back even if you escaped, even if you remembered. The magic would have killed you for trying. The implications settle heavy. So how am I here now? How did I break it? Marcus's expression shifts to something complicated. You didn't. Cassandra broke it when she came to the facility. The oath specified you couldn't return to Blackwood territory, but the facility was technically neutral ground outside pack boundaries. When she visited, she violated the terms by bringing you into proximity with Blackwood pack members. I processed this, running through the logic. That's why the oath released. Why I could shift properly for the first time. Why I could escape. Marcus's smile is fierce and proud. You didn't wait for permission or rescue. The second the magic released, you took your freedom back. That's the Maya I remember. Strong, fearless, unwilling to stay down. The compliment makes me uncomfortable, praise for a person I still don't fully remember being. But before I can deflect, Rebecca bursts through the study door, and tablet in hand, expression lit with triumph. I found something. Not footage, but financial records. Large payments from an account registered to Cassandra Vale to the Crimson Fang Pack. Dates align with Maya's disappearance and Eli's abduction. Marcus is on his feet instantly, reading over her shoulder. Can we prove it's her account? Rebecca nods. Signature matches, and she wasn't careful about covering digital tracks. There's more. Communications between her and someone in the Crimson Fang Pack leadership. Encrypted, but I broke it. She's been paying them for years to keep you alive, but imprisoned. The evidence is damning concrete in ways memory projections aren't. Marcus is already pulling out his phone, calling Thomas Ironwood. We have proof, financial records, communications, everything. Call an emergency council session. Tonight. But Rebecca's expression doesn't shift to celebration. If anything, she looks more concerned. There's something else. New payments dated 2 days ago. Large sum transferred to Crimson Fang accounts with a message, contingency plan, blood moon approaches. The words hang in the air, ominous and unclear. Marcus's voice drops to dangerous quiet. What contingency plan? Blood moon is in 6 days. Thomas Ironwood's voice crackles through the phone speaker, Marcus having switched to video call. The blood moon eclipse. It only occurs once every 19 years. According to ancient pack law and prophecy, it's when the Luna crown can be challenged or transferred. Chen appears in the study doorway, drawn by the commotion. Her face pales as she hears Thomas's explanation. The Luna crown isn't just a title. It's a spiritual mantle, the pack's collective power channeled through one female wolf. Normally it passes through mate bonds or inheritance. But during a blood moon eclipse, dark magic can be used to steal it. The implications crash down like avalanche. Cassandra is planning a ritual. Thomas's image nods gravely. If she can complete a crown transfer ritual during the eclipse while you're alive but powerless, she becomes Luna permanently, unquestionably, and you remain stripped of all authority and connection to the pack. Marcus's fury is palpable, wolf surfacing in his eyes. What does she need for this ritual? Chen's voice shakes. True Luna's blood, a lunar eclipse, and a sacrifice of what was stolen. We all reach the same horrifying conclusion simultaneously. Eli. Cassandra needs Eli dead to complete the ritual. The payments to Crimson Fang weren't just about keeping us imprisoned. They were about having assets in place for the final move. I'm on my feet, every protective instinct screaming. Where is Eli? Chen's reassurance comes quick. In his room, asleep, guards posted outside. But the fear doesn't subside. Cassandra has proven she can reach into our stronghold, can manipulate and betray and plan years in advance. Guards won't stop someone that determined. Marcus is already issuing orders into his phone, calling pack members to fortify the estate, doubling security, preparing for siege. Rebecca works her tablet, tracking Cassandra's location, trying to predict the next move. The attack comes 90 minutes later. Alarms shriek through the estate, harsh and immediate. I'm moving before conscious thought will form, erupting as I race toward Eli's room. Marcus keeps pace beside me, larger and faster, but letting me lead because he understands priority. Guards lie unconscious in the hallway, drugged or spelled, eliminated with efficiency that speaks to professional execution. Eli's door hangs open. Inside, wolves I don't recognize surround his bed. They're not Crimson Fang, something else, mercenaries hired for this specific job. Eli is awake, small wolf form, bristling with fear, backed into the corner, but fighting. One of the mercenaries reaches for him, and I'm on the wolf before conscious decision, teeth finding throat, ending the threat with prejudice. The other mercenaries turn on me and chaos erupts. Marcus takes two of them down with brutal efficiency. I'm grappling with a third when Eli's terrified voice cuts through the violence. Mama! The mercenary I'm fighting throws me off, slams me into the wall, hard enough to crack plaster. Stars explode across my vision, consciousness wavering. Through the haze, I see the wolf advancing on Eli, claws extended, following orders to eliminate the target. Eli's eyes flash silver, not the normal gold of werewolf transformation. Pure silver, bright as moonlight, impossible and wrong and beautiful. Power detonates from his small body in a shockwave that throws every wolf in the room backward. The mercenaries hit walls and furniture, bones breaking audibly. Marcus catches himself, shielding me with his body, and Eli stands at the center, eyes glowing like twin moons, energy crackling around him in visible waves. The mercenaries who can still move retreat, recognizing power that surpasses their contract value. They shift and run, leaving bodies and failure behind. The alarms are still screaming. Pack members flood the hallway, responding to the breach. But my focus is on Eli, who's collapsed now, the power surge having exhausted him. I shift to human and gather him into my arms, checking for injuries, finding only unconsciousness and the strange silver glow fading from his skin. Doctor. Chen pushes through the crowd, medical bag already open, checking his vitals with practiced hands. He's stable. Whatever that was, it didn't hurt him. But we need to understand what we just witnessed. Thomas Ironwood arrives, breathing hard from running, his old eyes sharp with recognition. The prophecy, the air of shadow and light, shall carry moon-touched power. I never thought I'd live to see it manifest. Marcus is still in wolf form, prowling the room's perimeter, ensuring no threats remain. When he finally shifts back to human, his voice carries weight that makes even the guards stand straighter. That was a coordinated strike, professional, well-funded. Cassandra isn't acting alone anymore. Rebecca appears in the doorway, tablet still in hand despite the chaos. I've tracked her location. She's at Silver Peak, the old ritual site in the mountains. She's been there for 2 days preparing. The pieces align with terrible clarity. Cassandra isn't waiting for us to bring evidence to the council. She's moving forward with the ritual, regardless, planning to present the completed crown transfer as fait accompli. By the time the council reconvenes, it will be too late to challenge her. Marcus meets my eyes and something passes between us. Understanding. Alliance. The recognition that waiting for political solutions while Cassandra prepares to kill our son is not acceptable. We end this, tonight. Thomas raises a hand, legal mind still working despite the violence. If you attack her at the ritual site, the council will call it unsanctioned violence. They could strip you of alpha status. Marcus's smile is wolf dangerous, human thin. Let them try. Rebecca starts organizing the assault team. Loyal pack members, skilled fighters, wolves, who've been with us since before everything went wrong. I'm included automatically, no discussion needed. Where this goes, I go. Because Eli is mine and Cassandra's death is personal in ways that transcend politics. Dr. Chen takes Eli somewhere secure, deeper in the estate, surrounded by guards. Marcus trusts absolutely. He's still unconscious, body recovering from power expenditure. It's too young to handle. Before I leave, I press a kiss to his forehead, breathing promises against his skin. I'm ending this. For both of us, no more running. The preparation takes an hour. Weapons planning, coordination. Silver Peak is 40 miles into the mountains, accessible only by rough trails, perfect for ritual work that requires isolation. The blood moon is 6 nights away, which means Cassandra is doing preliminary setup gathering power, preparing the space. We leave at midnight, a strike force of 8 wolves moving through darkness with predatory silence. Marcus leads Alpha Authority radiating from every step. I run beside him, my wolf stronger now than during the escape, 4 days of good food and freedom, healing damage the cells inflicted. The mountains rise around us, pine and stone and cold air that burns my lungs. We're close to the facility where I was imprisoned, close enough that scent memories trigger panic my conscious mind has to override. But forward is the only direction that matters. Backward holds nothing except ghosts and pain. Silver Peak emerges from the forest like a crown of stone, ancient and weathered, marked with symbols that predate pack formation. The ritual circle is visible from our approach, carved into rock and filled with the components that glow with sickly light. Cassandra stands at the center, dressed in ceremonial robes, surrounded by candles and symbols and power that tastes like corruption. She's not alone. Wolves who ring the perimeter guards are allies, more than our small force can handle in direct confrontation. Marcus signals for the team to spread out, establishing position, waiting for the right moment to strike. Cassandra's voice carries through the thin mountain air, reading from a grimoire in languages I don't recognize. The ritual is already underway, power building towards some crescendo we need to interrupt before completion. Marcus shifts to human, stepping into the clearing with confidence that borders on arrogance. His voice cuts through Cassandra's chanting. "It's over, Cassandra. We have evidence of your payments to Crimson Fang, your communications, all of it. The council knows what you did." Cassandra stops mid-word, turning to face us with expression that cycles through surprise to calculation to cold amusement. "Marcus and Maya back from the dead. How inconvenient." She gestures and her wolves move to surround us, not attacking yet, just establishing dominance through numbers. Our team emerges from the trees, matching their formation, creating standoff that could break into violence with a single wrong move. Cassandra's smile is poisonous beauty. "Evidence means nothing if I complete the ritual tonight. The Luna crown will be mine, transferred during the blood moon's power, permanent and unbreakable. Your political games won't matter when I carry the pack's mantle." Marcus's response is a growl that promises violence. "The ritual requires Eli's death. That's not happening." Cassandra tilts her head, studying us like insects. "Who said anything about Eli? The requirement is sacrifice of what was stolen. I stole Maya's life, her memories, her place. Her death completes the ritual just as well. The revelation shifts calculations. She doesn't need Eli dead. This, just me." And looking at the wolves surrounding us, at the power crackling in the ritual circle, at Cassandra's confidence, the odds are not favorable. But I didn't survive 4 years of torture to die in a mountain ritual circle. Didn't claw my way to freedom to let this woman take anything more from me. I stepped forward, shedding human form for wolf, letting Cassandra see exactly what her years of torture created. My wolf is still scarred, still smaller than it should be, but the eyes that meet hers burn with fury, undiluted by fear. Cassandra's smile falters just for a moment, recognition of the monster she made flickering across her features. Then chaos erupts, and the mountain runs red with the cost of betrayal. The council chamber descends into pandemonium. Wolves shouting, demanding answers, Gerald and his allies trying to regain control, while Thomas calls for order and Marcus looks ready to tear Cassandra apart regardless of political consequences. But my focus narrows to singular clarity. The ritual continues independent of Cassandra's presence. My death at midnight completes the crown transfer. 6 hours to find a solution or die trying. I'm already moving toward the exit when Marcus catches my arm, his grip gentle but insistent. "We figure this out together. No running off alone to sacrifice yourself heroically." The observation is fair and irritating because that was exactly my plan. But tactical analysis suggests solo martyr plays rarely work against prepared magical enemies. Fine, together, but we move now. Rebecca is already pulling up ritual theory on her tablet, scanning through ancient texts with speed reading efficiency. Dart Chen appears from where she's been monitoring from the gallery, medical bag in hand, prepared for whatever comes next. Thomas forces his way through the crowd, old body moving with surprising urgency. The ritual's completion mechanism is tied to the eclipse timing. If Maya dies during the eclipse window, her Luna essence transfers to Cassandra automatically. Before or after that window, the magic fails. Rebecca looks up from her research, expression grim. Eclipse window is midnight to 3 a.m., approximately 3 hours of vulnerability. 3 hours when my continued existence determines whether Cassandra wins or loses. The math is brutally simple: survive until dawn, or doom the pack to a Luna who tortured and betrayed us. Marcus is already coordinating on his phone, calling in every favor and ally, mobilizing forces for assault on Silver Peak. But something in Cassandra's smile before the guards took her away suggests she anticipated this response, prepared contingencies we haven't identified. James Blackwood pushes through the dispersing crowd, his expression carrying bad news. Crimson Fang Pack is mobilizing. Multiple units moving towards Silver Peak. They're fortifying Cassandra's ritual site, turning it into a fortress. The strategic picture clarifies. Cassandra knew exile was possible, planned for it, ensured her ritual would proceed regardless. The preliminary bindings she mentioned create magical momentum that doesn't require her physical presence. All that's needed is my death during the eclipse window, and she's arranged an army to ensure that happens. Marcus meets my eyes and something passes between us. Understanding, acceptance, the recognition that this ends tonight one way or another. His hand finds mine, fingers lacing through scars and damaged skin. We go to Silver Peak, end the ritual permanently, whatever it takes. Thomas shakes his head with the wisdom of age and too many battles. Frontal assault against fortified position costs lives we can't spare. We need a better approach. Dr. Chen's voice cuts through with unexpected steel. Then we use what Cassandra doesn't expect. Eli's power, the moon-touched abilities the prophecy promised. Every adult in our group reacts with immediate rejection. Using a 7-year-old as weapon violates instincts so deep they transcend tactical necessity. But Dr. Chen presses forward, her compassion evident, but her logic irrefutable. I'm not suggesting we send him into combat, but his abilities could disrupt the ritual framework, could provide the opening we need to dismantle Cassandra's preparations before the eclipse window. The proposal sits heavy in the space between us. None of us want to endanger Eli more than he's already at risk. But the alternative is watching me die at midnight while Crimson Fang wolves ensure no rescue succeeds. Eli's voice cuts through from the doorway, where he's been listening with Dr. Chen's assistant. I want to help. The moon tells me I'm supposed to be there, that my power matters for what comes next. He walks forward with gravity that shouldn't belong to children. Silver undertones flickering in his eyes that suggest the moon's touch grows stronger as eclipse approaches. I'm not a baby, and Mama kept me safe for 4 years when everything was terrible. Now I can help keep her safe. The role reversal is wrong and necessary in equal measure. I crouch to his level, searching his small face for fear or uncertainty, finding only determination and the eerie calm of someone connected to forces beyond human understanding. This will be dangerous. Worse than the facility. Worse than anything we've faced. His smile is small but genuine, so much like Marcus it steals my breath. Then it's good we're really good at dangerous. The decision happens in the silence that follows. We bring Eli protected but present, using his moon-touched abilities to counter Cassandra's dark magic. The risk is catastrophic. The alternative is worse. Planning consumes the next 2 hours. Allied packs are mobilizing, but reinforcements won't arrive before midnight. Our assault force is small: Marcus, myself, Rebecca, James, Thomas, Dr. Chen, and a dozen loyal pack members who've proven themselves in combat, and Eli, whose power we barely understand but desperately need. The drive to Silver Peak takes us through mountain passes that grow increasingly treacherous. Snow starts falling as elevation climbs fat flakes that reduce visibility and coat the road in ice. The convoy moves with headlights off navigation by wolf sight and GPS coordinates, maintaining stealth as long as possible. Rebecca's intelligence updates paint increasingly dire pictures. Crimson Fang has 40 wolves at Silver Peak fortified positions, magical wards that will alert them to our approach. The ritual circle pulses with energy visible on thermal imaging power building toward critical mass. Marcus drives with white-knuckled focus, his wolf so close to surface, his eyes flash gold in the darkness. I sit in the passenger seat, checking weapons and running through tactical scenarios, searching for the approach that doesn't end in slaughter. Eli rides in back with Dr. Chen, unnaturally quiet, his small hands glowing with silver light that intensifies as we approach the ritual site. The moon speaks to him in ways he can't fully articulate, showing him possible futures branching from tonight's choices. He's seen outcomes where we win and where we lose, where everyone survives and where bodies litter the mountain. The visions weigh on him, stealing the last remnants of childhood innocence. We're 5 miles out when Eli's voice cuts through the tense silence. Stop! We have to stop here. Marcus doesn't question, doesn't hesitate, just brings the convoy to halt on the narrow mountain road. Eli climbs out before anyone can stop him, walking to the edge where Cliff drops away into darkness. His eyes are pure silver now. No gold, remaining moon-touched and otherworldly. When he speaks, the voice is his, but the cadence belongs to something older. The direct path leads to death. Too many wolves, too much magic, the ritual too close to completion. But there's another way, a path the moon shows me. Through the old wolf tracks beneath the mountain, they emerge inside the ritual circle. Thomas is out of his vehicle, moving with speed that belies his age. The ancient passages. I'd forgotten they existed. Built by the first packs sealed centuries ago. Eli nods, still locked in whatever vision the moon provides. They open for moon-touched blood. My blood. I can get us inside their defenses. The tactical advantage is enormous. Bypass fortifications emerge at the ritual's heartstrike before Crimson Fang realizes we're there. But it requires trusting. Eli's visions requires bringing him even closer to danger. Marcus crouches beside his son, hands hovering near but not touching, respecting the power crackling around the small body. Are you certain if we follow these paths and you're wrong, we're trapped underground with no escape? Eli's silver eyes meet his father's ancient knowledge looking through a child's face. I'm certain. This is why the moon chose me. This is my purpose tonight. The decision is made. We leave the vehicles hidden in tree cover, proceeding on foot, through snow that deepens with each step. Eli leads with confidence that shouldn't be possible, navigating by senses we can't access, following paths invisible to everyone else. The entrance appears as a crack in stone barely wide enough for wolves to squeeze through. Marcus goes first in wolf form, protective instincts, demanding he face whatever waits below. I follow with Eli between us, the rest of our force filing through into darkness that smells of earth and old magic. The passages are narrow, carved through living rock by claws and determination centuries past. We move in single-file wolves, padding silent through the dark, trusting Eli's guidance and Marcus's lead. Time loses meaning underground, only the steady progression deeper into the mountain marking our advance. Eli's power illuminates the path ahead. Silver light that reveals ancient carvings on the walls. Pack symbols, moon phases, warnings in languages predating modern werewolf society. This place is holy ground, sacred to the first wolves who claimed these territories, and we're using it to approach violence and potential death. The passage opens suddenly into a cavern larger than our entire estate. The ceiling rises beyond sight, lost in shadows that devour light, and at the cavern's heart, Cassandra's ritual circle blazes with energy that hurts to witness. She's not alone. Crimson Fang wolves ring the perimeter 40, exactly as Rebecca's intelligence suggested, but they're focused outward, watching approaches from the surface, not expecting attack from below. The ritual components glow with sickly light, my blood in a silver chalice, symbols drawn in substances I don't want to identify, candles burning with flames that cast no warmth. And at the center, a crown woven from thorns and moonlight and malice, floating above the circle, waiting for the eclipse to seal its claim. Cassandra stands beside the crown, no longer in ceremonial robes, but wearing combat gear that suggests she anticipated violence. Her expression holds triumph already secured, victory counted before the battle's conclusion. Then her eyes find our emergence point, and her smile widens. Marcus, Maya, and little Eli, how wonderful. You've saved me the trouble of hunting you down. She makes a gesture, and Crimson Fang wolves turn as one, realizing the threat comes from within rather than without. Our element of surprise evaporates in the space between heartbeats. Marcus doesn't wait for her to finish gloating. His attack is lightning-fast wolf form, exploding toward Cassandra with lethal intent. But magical barriers flare to life, stopping him inches from her throat, throwing him back with force that cracks stone when he impacts the cavern wall. The battle erupts with chaotic fury. Our wolves engage Crimson Fang in close quarters, where aggression drugs matter less than tactical coordination. Rebecca fights with precision, targeting weak points, eliminating threats with economical violence. James guards our flanks, preventing encirclement. Thomas uses his Age 1 experience to anticipate attacks before they materialize. And I move toward Cassandra with singular focus, knowing that disrupting the ritual requires reaching her regardless of the guards between us. 3 crimson fang wolves intercept drugged rage, making them fearless and sloppy. I slip the first one's lunged teeth, finding spine ending the threat. The second catches my flank, but damaged ribs from earlier fighting slow the response. Pain is temporary. Eli's safety is permanent priority. The third wolf is smarter, circling, waiting for opening. But Dr. Chen appears from unexpected angle, silver blade finding throat before the wolf realizes the healer is also warrior. She meets my eyes, blood splattered and fierce. Go! We'll hold them. I shift to human because what comes next requires hands and words. Cassandra watches my approach with expression that holds too much confidence, too much certainty, like my presence completes some plan rather than threatens it. You can't stop the ritual, Maya. It's already woven into the fabric of pack magic. My death doesn't end it. Your survival doesn't prevent it. The only variable is whether you die or whether you die easily or hard. I keep advancing, cataloging her position, the ritual components, searching for weakness in magical frameworks I barely understand. Then why are you here? If it's inevitable, why guard it personally? Her smile sharpens. Because I want to watch. Want to see the moment you realize you've lost everything. That all your struggling and surviving accomplished nothing except prolonging the inevitable. The admission reveals more than she intends. She needs to be present, needs the ritual completion to happen while she witnesses. Not for magic, but for satisfaction, for the validation of watching me die, knowing she orchestrated it. Psychological weakness wrapped in magical certainty. I'm 10 feet away when memory surfaces violent and unwelcome. The blood oath. Cassandra's words binding us both. I will not kill Maya Stone or Eli Blackwood if Maya leaves Blackwood territory and never returns. The reciprocal obligation slams into consciousness. I swore not to harm her in exchange for the promise she wouldn't kill us. The magic bound both directions, absolute and unbreakable. I can't kill Cassandra without breaking the oath. And breaking the oath means death by magic older and more absolute than any ritual. She sees realization hit, sees my advance falter, and her laughter echoes through the cavern. There it is, the moment you understand. You're bound by your own desperate bargain. Attack me and the oath kills you instantly. The ritual completes. I win either way. The trap reveals its full dimensions. No-win scenario. Kill Cassandra and die from oath violation, completing the ritual anyway. Don't kill her and die at midnight from ritual mechanics. Both paths lead to her victory. Marcus is back on his feet, bleeding, but functional, fighting toward me through wolves that multiply faster than we can eliminate them. But he's too far away, too engaged, unable to help with a problem that's magical rather than physical. Eli's voice cuts through the chaos, small and clear and certain. Mama, move. I drop without thinking, trusting his warning. Silver energy detonates where I was standing. Magical attack from Cassandra that would have ended the fight immediately. Eli's power shields me moon-touched abilities, countering dark magic through mechanisms I don't comprehend. Cassandra's expression shifts from triumph to fury, focusing on Eli with intensity that promises violence. The moon-touched air. How inconvenient. I suppose I'll have to eliminate that variable after all. She raises her hand, dark magic gathering, aimed not at me, but at my son. At the 7-year-old child whose only crime was being born to the woman she envied. The choice is simple. The choice is impossible. The choice is already made before conscious thought completes. I launch myself at Cassandra knowing the blood oath will kill me, not caring because Eli's life matters more than mine, or pack politics, or magical rituals. My hands find her throat claws extending, ready to tear through flesh and magic, and whatever it takes to stop the spell aimed at my child. The oath activates instantly. Magic slams through my body like lightning, burning through veins and nerves and bones. Pain beyond anything the cleansing chambers inflicted beyond torture or silver or wolfsbane. The agony of absolute magical law being violated, the price for breaking vows sworn in blood. I'm dying. Can feel life draining with each heartbeat, the oath consuming me from inside. but my hands stay locked on Cassandra's throat, refusing to release even as consciousness fractures. If I'm dying anyway, I'm taking her with me. Marcus's roar shakes the cavern. Eli's scream carries silver power that shatters magical constructs. Dr. Chen is shouting something about lunar intervention, and then the blood moon rises. The eclipse begins early astronomical timing, irrelevant to magic responding to desperate need. Moonlight floods the cavern, pure and silver, an ancient washing over my dying body with power that feels like recognition. The moon speaks in my bones, and the wolf that's always been mine, even when suppressed, speaks in a voice that sounds like every Luna who came before every strong woman who carried the pack's heart. The oath was forced. Coercion negates consent. Blood sworn under duress holds no power against willing sacrifice. The magic burning me alive shifts, changes, becomes something else entirely. Not death, but transformation. The blood oath shatters its binding, releasing in a cascade of silver sparks. And the Luna crown floating above the ritual circle tears free of Cassandra's dark magic drawn by the moon's will toward the wolf dying to protect her pack. Power slams into me like physical impact. The crown settles onto my head, not thorns and malice, but pure moonlight in ancient authority. Every wound heals instantly. Every scar fades to silver traces. My wolf surges to full strength for the first time since the cell's larger and fiercer and absolutely right. Cassandra's eyes go wide with horror as her ritual backlashes dark magic, consuming the caster instead of the victim. She stumbles back, throat bruised from my grip, watching her certainty crumble to ash. The transformation completes in heartbeats. I stand at the center of the ritual circle wearing the true Luna crown, chosen by the moon itself, absolute in my authority. The pack bonds I'd barely felt snap into full clarity, connecting me to every Blackwood wolf in ways that transcend physical distance. They feel me, know me, accept me with unanimous certainty that needs no council vote or political maneuvering. Cassandra raises her hands for a final desperate spell, gathering what power remains in her dark magic arsenal. But I'm faster, stronger, backed by the moon's own blessing. My wolf form explodes forward, massive and silver-touched, and done with mercy. The fight is brief and brutal. Cassandra has skill and dark magic and years of planning. I have rage in the Luna crown and absolutely nothing left to lose. She goes down, hard bones breaking under my jaws, dark magic dissipating like smoke in moonlight. But I don't kill her, don't tear out her throat, though instinct screams for it, because mercy is power too, and Cassandra will live to watch everything she schemed for burn to ash. The Crimson Fang Wolves are retreating, pack bonds severed by their alpha's defeat, leaderless and lost. Our forces harry them toward the surface, ensuring they understand the cost of accepting Cassandra's coin. I shift to human standing over Cassandra's broken body, feeling the crown's weight settle into something comfortable, natural, like it was always meant to rest here. Marcus approaches carefully, wolf form transitioning to human, his expression cycling through shock and awe and fierce pride. Maya. Not Luna, not Stone, just my name spoken with reverence that makes my chest tight. Eli crashes into both of us, small body trembling with exhaustion and relief, and the fading of moon-touch visions. His eyes are gold again, normal child's eyes, the prophecy fulfilled, and the power receding to wherever it waits between crises. His voice is muffled against my stomach. You came back. The moon said you would, but I was scared anyway. I hold him close, one arm around my arm and the other reaching for Marcus, who completes the circuit. Family pack home. Words that mean something again. Dr. Chen is moving among our wounded, triaging injuries, pronouncing most fixable with time and her considerable skill. Thomas stands at the ritual circle's edge, studying the shattered components with satisfaction. The ritual is broken permanently. No one can attempt crown transfer again. The moon has chosen, and her choice is absolute. Rebecca coordinates our withdrawal, ensuring evidence is documented, prisoners are secured, and Cassandra's conspiracy is exposed to light that destroys it. James contacts the council, formal notification that tonight's events supersede all political maneuvering. Elena Frost's voice crackles through the phone speaker, witnessing via video feed Rebecca activated. On behalf of the neutral council members, we recognize Maya Stone as true Luna, chosen by the blood moon itself. All challenges to her authority are hereby dismissed. Gerald's protests filter through weak and defeated, overridden by the remaining council members on voting unanimous affirmation. Cassandra is conscious again, face twisted with hate and broken dreams. Guards lift her carefully, preparing for transport to exile that now includes magical binding to prevent any future schemes. She meets my eyes one final time, searching for triumph or gloating or anything she can use to salvage pride from this wreckage. All she finds is pity. I'm sorry you couldn't find your own happiness. Sorry jealousy destroyed you, but I will not let your poison spread further. Live with what you've done. Learn if you can, but stay away from my pack, my family, my home. The declaration is final. Luna Authority making it law. Cassandra is dragged away, still screaming threats that carry no weight, promises of revenge that sound hollow against the moon's judgment. The journey back to the estate takes hours, wolves limping on injured legs, carrying wounded, who can't walk, moving with the exhaustion of battle survived. Dawn breaks as we emerge from the mountain, sunlight painting everything gold and new. The estate appears ahead, damaged, but standing home in ways the cells never were. Pack members flood out to greet us, surrounding the vehicles with joy and relief and the bone-deep certainty that their Luna has returned. They feel it through pack bonds, now unmistakable. Feel my presence settled into the magical framework that connects every Blackwood wolf. Feel the rightness of the crown's placement, the moon's blessing, the absolute end of Cassandra's schemes. Eli is asleep in my arms, small body finally releasing tension. It's held for too long. Marcus drives with one hand on the wheel and one hand tangled with mine, unwilling to break contact. Dr. Chen monitors vitals and pronounces us miraculously whole despite everything. The formal ceremony happens 3 days later. The council reconvenes with full attendance from allied packs across North America. Elena Frost officiates, her voice carrying the weight of tradition and new beginnings. By the moon's blessing and this council's unanimous recognition, we affirm Maya Stone as Luna of the Blackwood Pack and bearer of the sacred crown. All honor to her strength, her sacrifice, her triumph over darkness. The words wash over me, formal acknowledgement of what the blood moon already confirmed. I stand before the council wearing the crown, visible only to Wolfsight Marcus at my right and Eli at my left, family complete and whole. Thomas Ironwood presents the official decree document signed by every council member, including Gerald, who had no choice but acceptance or removal. The charges against Cassandra Vale have been proven beyond dispute. She is exiled, permanently bound by magic to prevent harm, stripped of pack affiliation and status. Her allies on the council have resigned or been removed. New members will be appointed to fill vacant seats. Gerald is among the removed, his complicity too blatant to overlook. Margaret and William resigned before they could be formally charged, accepting lesser punishments in exchange for cooperation. The council is reshaped power, balanced toward fairness rather than faction. Survivors from the Crimson Fang facility receive compensation, support, integration into packs willing to accept them. Old Thomas is given a place of honor at our estate, his knowledge and wisdom valued. The dead are memorialized with ceremonies that promise remembrance. Life settles into new patterns. Eli attends pack school, making friends with children who don't know what he survived, learning to be a child rather than survivor. His moon-touched abilities surface occasionally, always when needed, never overwhelming. Dr. Chen continues her work, healing bodies and minds damaged by Cassandra's conspiracy, building support systems for wolves learning to trust again. Rebecca accepts position as Marcus's formal second, her tactical brilliance and loyalty earning respect from every pack member. And Marcus becomes partner, mate, the person I fall in love with fresh rather than remembering what we had. The new relationship is different from what we lost, built on choice and healing rather than instant bond recognition. Better maybe for being earned rather than given. We stand on the balcony 6 months after the blood moon, watching Eli play in the courtyard below with pack children who accept him without question. The spring air is soft, carrying scents of pine and growing things and the life we've built from ruins. Marcus's arm wraps around my waist, comfortable and right. You never did get all your memories back. Dr. Chen says they might never return completely. I lean into his warmth, watching our son laugh at something another child said. I remember the important parts. Remember loving you once. Remember why I fought so hard to survive. The rest is just details. His smile is visible in profile edges, softened by contentment. So, who are you now? Maya Stone, Luna Blackwood, or someone new? I consider the question seriously, turning it over against everything I've learned and become. All of them. The Maya who existed before the cells, the shadow who survived them, the Luna the moon chose. I don't have to pick one. I contain them all. Movement below catches my attention. Eli looks up, waving with whole-body enthusiasm. I wave back, the Luna crown invisible on my head, but present in the pack bonds that connect us to every wolf in our territory. This is home. This is family. This is the life I died and returned for the future I carved from betrayal and blood and the stubborn refusal to stay broken. Cassandra wanted to erase me, to steal everything and leave nothing behind. Instead, she forged something stronger than what existed before. A Luna who understands darkness because she's lived through it. A mother who will burn worlds to protect her child. A woman who learned that survival is its own form of victory. The blood moon rises once every 19 years. When it comes again, I'll stand ready. Crown Secure Pack united, family whole. Some things are worth fighting for, worth dying for, worth coming back from death to defend. And I've learned exactly how far I'll go to protect them all.